Welcome to the Bald Brad Show. Our lead story of the day is regarding China having a secret spy base on Cuba without the White House knowing. This one's crazy and insane. And we also have the White House's response to all this. Before we get into any of the details and the craziness of it all, support a true American patriot by hitting that like and subscribe button. Leave us a short, sweet comment down below. Your help support would be greatly appreciated. Well, folks, China has been secretly operating a spy base in Cuba for 4 years, a White House official said, confirming that the communist country is increasing its surveillance capabilities right on the United States doorstep. Let's be honest, they're more than just on our doorstep. They're inside the door. They're in the house. There's been rumors that the Chinese government's trying to buy up land next to our military installations in our country so they could surveil what's going on. Hell, we saw spy balloons leave mainland China, fly all the way across the United States, gather surveillance, and then Joe Biden decides to blow it up. So they're not just on our borders or on our doorstep. They're inside, folks. That's what's going on right now. A Biden administration official recently spoke on the condition of anonymity and confirmed the news that China has been in Havana since 2019. Wild. They didn't have a clue that China was right there. The confirmation comes just days after White House National Security Council spokesman John Kirby, which we'll hear in just one moment, denied that China has a base in the Caribbean amid reports that President Xi Jinping was plotting to build a base. Quote, "I've seen the press report. It's not accurate," Kirby said in an MSNBC interview regarding the Wall Street Journal's original story. Now, Kirby was technically correct, but a more disturbing truth has since emerged that China already has a listening station on the communist Caribbean island. Additionally, China appears to be looking to expand their number of bases around the world and has been quite quiet some time regarding all this. So China doesn't think in terms of every 2 to 4 years like presidents do. China thinks in terms of decades. They're playing 4D chess while we're playing like 2D, 3D chess, if that. So China's making some big moves here, and we're just allowing it to happen. Every president just allows it to happen. Trump tried to stop as much as he can, but Trump was only there for 4 years. The Democrat Party really allows China to increase. At some point, they're going to increase too far, and then obviously now you got war on your hands. The Biden administration official who spoke out said that they have been worried about China's eagerness to expand their spying operations. I mean, this is going on for decades. This is nothing new. What I can tell you is that we have been concerned since day one of this administration about China's influence activities around the world. Certainly in this hemisphere and in this region, we're watching this very, very closely continue. Chinese officials, though, at one point looked at sites spanning the Atlantic Ocean, Latin America, and the Middle East, Central Asia, Africa, and the Indo-Pacific. There was rumors, too, that all of which was just listed were places in which China has had spy balloons fly over as well. The original Wall Street Journal report on Thursday of last week shared that China and Cuba had reached an agreement to build an electronic eavesdropping station on the island. The journal reported China planned to pay Cuba billions of dollars as part of the negotiations. However, the U.S. intel official said the base was not a new development. Cuban Deputy Foreign Minister Carlos Fernandez de Casio also refuted the report in a Twitter post Saturday. Yeah, sure. Like, we're going to believe anything that guy says in a Twitter post. Come on. The slanderous speculation continues. Evidently promoted by certain media to cause harm and alarm without observing minimum patterns of communication and without providing data or evidence to support what they disseminate, he wrote. Okay, yeah. Like, we're going to believe anything the Cubans say. Really, it's like believing anything the Chinese said. The Chinese still haven't claimed territory over the COVID-19 Wuhan virus, which literally just came out. Now that you can talk about all you want on big tech now, that it was a lab leak out of Wuhan, which we all freaking knew since day one, but we couldn't talk about it. But now you can say it like willy-nilly. The New York Times is coming out with reports here, like a bombshell report that, oh yeah, it did come out of a lab in Wuhan. And by the way, the government gave like millions of dollars in grant money to this whole thing too. Yeah, we already know that. Rand Paul's been talking about it for years. We've been talking about it for years. Every conservative Republican's been talking about this whole thing for years, and you said for years that we couldn't talk about it. Oh, it's true. Yeah, no shit. The news of the base comes at a time when the relationship between China and the U.S. has been increasingly unsettling. In 2022, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, God, glad she's out, visited democratically governed Taiwan, which led to China launching military exercises in the area. China's also been launching some serious military exercises over Taiwanese airspace and kind of going a little bit too far more than they've done. I mean, they sent like almost 40 aircraft the other day over their airspace, and then they went even a step further and sent like a half a dozen or something like that, or a dozen aircraft into the space as well. Well, we got John Kirby here queued up from yesterday's White House press briefing, being asked this question about this spy base by Wonder Woman from Fox News, the one we love here the most on the Bald Brad show, Jackie Heinrich, questioning him on this whole debacle. Here's his response.
John, is there an effort to find the source of the leak on the Cuba base now?
Not that I'm aware of.
And I guess the reason why this has been characterized as a walk back is that saying that the report was inaccurate left all of us with the impression that this base didn't exist or would not exist. Having heard you saying that you went as far as you could on that, was a reason for your statement at all related to Blinken's travel to China next week?
No.
And then John Ratcliffe said that the allegation that there was a Chinese spy base in Cuba under the Trump administration is not true. What do you say to that?
Not an allegation, true. And our assessment is that the previous administration would have had the same access to that intelligence as we did.
Do you think they knew about it? And
That's up to them to speak to. They would have had the same access to the intelligence that we would have.
when you were briefed on its existence, was the administration told whether or not this information was embraced by the previous administration, or anything had been done about it under the previous?
I don't know about what was transferred in as far as the transition between the two administrations with respect to this particular issue. I just don't know.
So how should we understand him saying it didn't exist and you guys saying it did? What should we take away from that?
All I can tell you is that it's our assessment that the previous administration would have had access to the same intelligence that we did. Now, whether they availed themselves of that access, whether any one individual saw it and others didn't, I can't speak to it. We weren't here at the time.
Given the events in Miami tomorrow,
Folks, you've heard me talk about this, of how much it's like, oh, well, we didn't know. Oh, well, we don't know what was on those aircraft or the UFOs or whatever the hell we shot out of the sky a few months back under Joe Biden, where it was like a weekly occurrence of just shooting things out of the sky. Oh, we don't know what type of spy craft was there. It's tough terrain. We can't get it. Oh, we shot it over at deep waters. Oh, oopsie. Like, we couldn't have thought about that. That would happen. I mean, it's thing after thing with this administration. Like, oh, we don't know. Or, oh, we didn't know. We pull out of Afghanistan, 13 military men and women get blown to shreds. And you got people stuffed in the wheel well of our aircraft dying, falling from the sky left and right, being freaking killed in Afghanistan for supporting the United States. Oh, well, we didn't know that the country would be ran over that quick by the Taliban. We didn't know that things would be roughshotted for like that. Not a clue. Decades of assessment. Oh, no. It's like, really? And then you have a Chinese spy base off of Cuba, and you're like, for years, it wasn't like it's just like a new development. Just, no, didn't know. Huh. Right? I mean, that's like having a spy base off of Catalina, off the coast of California. Yeah, I didn't have a clue. Oh, no shit. Really? It was there, huh? I mean, you guys, for 2 years, we've literally seen him, and it's not his fault necessarily, but it's like, the guy doesn't have any answers. What is going on with their military? I'm a huge proponent. I'm a huge advocate of the military, but I'm questioning here of, what the hell are we doing? Honestly. I mean, it sounds like I'm venting, but this is some serious crap. We're going to allow our biggest enemy, other than Russia and maybe Iran, just having a spy base just that close? Like, really? And then we're getting reports again, they want to buy property here in the United States and have supposedly spies right next to our military installations? Let me know what you think about this, you guys. This is wild. This is crazy. I mean, it does not make us look good. That's for damn sure. It doesn't make John Kirby look good, which I think is why he's answering the questions the way he was. Disappointment. Well, moving into our second story of the day, we have Westfield surrendering San Francisco location as woke city deteriorates. So more Democratic policies, progressive left policies destroying cities once again, and it's happening all over the United States. Westfield is pulling out from operating San Francisco's largest mall amid deteriorating conditions in the Democrat-controlled city, the company said in a statement. Democrats love this stuff, you guys. I've said it time and time again. If you were fed up with it, you wouldn't have any Democrats in office. You wouldn't have these laws in the books. You wouldn't have this type of crime happening. That's the thing. So you can't vote for something and go, well, I don't like it. It literally impacts you in your city. I mean, Starbucks is leaving, Nordstrom is leaving, Westfield is leaving. I mean, thing after thing is just leaving. They love it. They'll keep voting for it. The move by the real estate giant comes after Nordstrom announced in May that it would be closing its location in Westfield, San Francisco Center in August. The San Francisco Chronicle reported that Westfield stopped making payments on these are big numbers, $558 million loan as the company and its partner, Brookfield Properties, has begun to process offloading control of the mall. Quote, for more than 20 years, 2 decades, shows you how far the progressive-led Democrat Party have gone in destroying this country from the inside out. Hey, might as well plug the book because that's what it's all about. Trojan Horse, How the Left is Destroying America. We go all about it, folks. It will equip you with the tools you need to destroy anybody in an argument in terms of what the Democrat Party and the progressive left are doing in this country. Link is in the description. You can get it on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, Walmart. Heck, you can get it on baldbrad.com, a signed copy for yourself. Well, folks, again, more than 20 years, Westfield has proudly and successfully operated San Francisco Center, investing significantly over that time in the vitality of the property, the company said in a statement to the Chronicle. Check this out. Listen to this language. Given the challenging operating conditions in downtown San Francisco, which have led to the decline in sales, occupancy, and foot traffic, which have made it difficult and made the difficult decision to begin the process to transfer management of the shopping center to our lender to allow them to appoint a receiver to operate the property going forward. You got to love that language. Oh, well, there's a decline in sales. Oh, why would that be? Why would that be? Oh, occupancy and foot traffic. Well, why is there occupancy and foot traffic going down? Oh, maybe the homeless, maybe the crime, the retail theft. People don't feel safe. People being stabbed in the streets. There's feces all over the ground. There's people doing the fentanyl crawl just passed out literally in front of your store. I mean, maybe that's a few things. Everything's boarded up. Everything's going out of business. Oh, maybe the insurance on the idea of your employees being harmed by this whole thing. I don't know. Maybe all those logical and common sense might play into the issue of why the foot traffic is a little bit low, why sales are declining. I don't go to LA for a reason. LA sucks. LA's a garbage heap. It literally smells like garbage down there, like human feces mixed with sweat mixed with garbage. It's disgusting down there. That's why nobody wants to go. Everything's boarded up. You're in the most touristy area, Hollywood Boulevard, where Celebrity Walk of Fame is. And there's places boarded up. Like, what the hell? That's the most bored. You have people that travel all over the world to go to LA to see that area, and you have boarded up shops. You have homeless people defecating, no pants on, pushing freaking wheelchairs with nobody in it, with their hair everywhere. It looks like a freaking, like the end of the world scenario. It's wild. People think I'm exaggerating when I'm saying all these things. I've seen it with my own eyes. I was there. I was living through it. I saw it. It's wild. Happy San Francisco. The report noted that Westfield previously blamed Nordstrom's pullout for the mall on unsafe conditions and lack of enforcement against rampant criminal activity. You gotta love that. That's Nordstrom's fault. Yeah, sure it was. Scapegoat. It's a scapegoat. It's the Democrat Party's fault is what it is. The company added that the shopping center has unprecedented bad performance compared to its other locations. Gee, I wonder why. When Nordstrom pulled out of the mall, Jamie Nordstrom, the company's chief stores officer, said the dynamics of the downtown San Francisco market have changed dramatically over the past several years. Well, what was it? What was it that changed so dramatically? It's so weird because things were fine before, and now you get Democrats like Nancy Pelosi running the state. She's been running into the ground for a while. You had Kamala Harris as well, but now she's vice president, running the country into the ground. You have Gavin Newsom that doesn't want to do anything. You have the AG of Gavin Newsom, Garcetti, doesn't want to do anything. So it's just amazing here of like, you don't just call a spade and just call it out what it is. It's Democrat policy. It's the same way in which the school system talks about slavery and kind of the North versus South. They always say North versus South. They don't ever say Republicans versus Democrats. Like, let's get specific with it because it's policies, it's beliefs, it's philosophy that drives these things. And that's what's going on. It's not North versus South. It's Republicans and freedom versus Democrat Party and slavery. That's what it was. The same thing here. You have freedom, Republican cities, do what you want as a business, stay open during COVID, okay? Have that liberty and that freedom that's enshrined in our Declaration of Independence and our Constitution. A Democrat Party, which is oppression, authoritarianism, and everything from top down, going down against American people, trying to oppress them, which has been going on since the inception of the Democrat Party. That's what it is. So let's call a spade a spade. And let's be honest about what all this is happening. So in April, a Whole Foods location in downtown San Francisco closed, and a source at San Francisco City Hall told a local news outlet that the drug use and criminal activity from individuals near the store played a role in the closure, which is the lack in foot traffic that's happening in Westfield Mall, which is what I said. And they don't want to just call it out. Because they have fear, folks. They have fear of things going south for them. Because you're going to have these Democrats and these progressive leftists, that their ESG score will drop and all these other things will happen to them. And then they can't take out credit and they can't do all these other things to expand their business further in other areas, Republican areas, to make their life better. A recent report from Fox News highlighted the story of an immigrant from Afghanistan who moved to the United States and opened a business in San Francisco, only to find that the conditions in the city, I hope you're sitting down because I actually heard about this story. I'm so glad it's arising right now. Pay attention to this. I'm going to start over. A recent report from Fox News highlighted the story of an immigrant from Afghanistan who moved to the United States and opened a business in San Francisco, only to find that the conditions in the city are supposedly worse than in Afghanistan when it comes to enforcing the law. The immigrant, who goes only by Zaid, told Fox News that the gangs had stolen more than $100,000 in merchandise and cash from his tobacco store. Cigarettes are cheaper, and none of them have been caught. Quote, the politicians need to get a grip on this because it's worse than Afghanistan or Iraq, he said. At least in Afghanistan, the Taliban will cut your hand off and people are afraid to commit such a crime. Not here. Not here. You don't even get prosecuted. Hey, $100,000? No, that's fine. $100,000, that's fine. I walk away with it. They are allowing people to just not only steal property, but have like full high-speed crimes going down the highway. Like breaking the law left and right. Hey, pull off the guy. We're going to let him go. And the only thing left is the news cameras going, hey, where's the police? Like the choppers are gone. The law enforcement on the highways are gone. They're just going to allow the guy go. That's where we are. We're not prosecuting anything. This is how you literally destroy a country, guys. I'm not exaggerating that one bit. This is the beginning stages of Western civilization falling apart. When you have no order, what do you get? You get chaos. And right now, we have a little bit of order and a lot of chaos in Democrat-ran areas. And now it's spilling over, and now you got people rising up. I think we're having a culture shift right now in terms of what David Mulvaney, Fee-Fi-Fo-Maney, whatever the hell the guy's name is, with that Bud Light scenario taking place. You got everybody trying to trans your kids. There's going to be an uprising here in the United States, and I think it's happening right now, where people are just fed up with it. People are fed up with it all. Independents, portion of the Democrats, obviously conservative Republicans have been fed up for a while, but now it's spilling over in actual people's personal lives, so now they're having a wake-up call. Zaid said he sees stores around town getting robbed nearly daily. Oh, but this isn't happening. I guarantee you, if this was Republican folks, if this was Republican areas, it'd be on the news every day. Every day. Oh, look at what Republicans are doing. Look how bad they're governing. You don't hear this from The View. You don't hear this from Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Ilhan Omar, AOC. I mean, the Squad, any of the Democrat Party there on Capitol Hill. You don't hear that from anybody. Like, oh, God, we're stuck at running states. We're stuck at running the country. We suck at everything that we do. You don't ever hear that from them. And they want to vote for Joe Biden again. Joe Biden has like a 37 approval rating in terms of how he's running the economy in the country. Who are those 37% and what rock are you living under? Because I got a bridge to sell you, man. He said the 7 criminals who robbed his store were there for 20 minutes and left in 2 cars before the police arrived. 20 minutes. Great response time. We have drug issues. We have homeless issues. And on top of this, these idiots come in here and take whatever they want, Zaid said. The city has gone downhill, especially for the last 2 years since COVID. I've never seen it worse. People are afraid to come shopping here because they're either going to get robbed or someone will break into their car. I mean, yeah, you park on the street, you get your car broken into. You walk down the street, you get freaking robbed. You go into a store, you get your car broken into, and you get robbed, and the store gets robbed, and nothing happens to anybody. And at the end of the day, you'll probably have to pay a ticket because you illegally parked while the homeless guy's taking a crap on the street with his RV, parked in a illegal parking spot, but not giving freaking a parking ticket. That's how it works. How that makes sense, I don't know, but I'd love to hear your response in the comment section below, because hell, doesn't make sense to me. I'm sure it doesn't make sense to you. We would love to hear your opinion about all of this, nonetheless, in the comment section below. Well, moving into our last story of the day, speaking about nonsense, just things getting worse, like San Francisco and other Democrat-ran areas, Border Patrol records 1,000% increase. Oh, you heard that correctly, folks. 1,000% increase in illegal immigration from China and Afghanistan. Amidst of our first segment, where we get reports that China has a secret spy base in Cuba for the last 4 years, that the White House and U.S. military, I don't know anything about it, not a clue. Well, now you have them coming in through our borders because Joe Biden doesn't want to sit there and actually do his damn job of executing the laws in the books, which is his job as the executive branch. Hit that like and subscribe button, folks, if you're enjoying this episode, and leave us a comment down below. We would love to hear from you. So Border Patrol has experienced an increase of more than 1,000%. I mean, it's even tough to say that number. I know 1,000 doesn't seem great, but in terms of percentage, folks, it's head spinning. So they're getting more than 1,000% of migrants from some countries far away from America, including China and Afghanistan. From fiscal year 2022 to 2023, so under the Biden administration, CBP Chief Raul Ortiz, who's retiring soon, recently revealed. Ortiz posted social media data including similar migrant increases from Algeria, Egypt, Ethiopia, Vietnam, Paraguay, a couple other places in the Dominican Republic. Ortiz noted that authorities still have challenges with these countries, governments to get working programs in place to basically take care of those that are apprehended and stuff like that. Basically at the border, they're trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Joe Biden literally tried to get the lower courts to handle a case in which he just wants to allow people let loose into the interior of the country without court dates. We covered that like a week ago. I mean, what the hell? I mean, I know it's such a basic response and there's not really some philosophical sentence behind that, but I mean, I think that sums up everything. There is no philosophical response. To go, what are you doing? Why would you think that's okay? You think that people are going to come back because those that have court dates right now are for like 2027 and 2028. He's not going to be president. He might not even be alive then. It's so wild. Now we got China and Afghanistan and other countries just pouring in across the United States. And we don't know who the hell they are. I mean, talk about the known gotaways, which we'll get into one moment here. You think there might be a terrorist or somebody that wants to do harm to this country, your family? Democrats and progressive left don't care, folks. Look what they're doing to your kids. They don't care about harming children, let alone freaking average Americans. You literally have Joe Biden, the Democrat Party, kicking out freaking our veterans that served in Afghanistan and Iraq out of the hotels and replacing them with migrants. No, it's fine. Vote for Joe Biden, man. He's going to figure out everything. He hasn't figured out damn shit in 2 years, but now he'll figure out everything. Forgive me cussing, folks. Forgive me cussing. But it's true. Well, he'll figure it out. No, he has a plan. He has a plan. We're just in a transition phase. That's because of what the White House says. We're in a transition phase. It's been a transition phase since that guy freaking came in office. Like, what are you transitioning into? How about there's a story. Oh, well, he's worried about what's on your plate and what's in the kitchen table issues and all this stupid stuff. Like, sure you are, dude. Gonna tell your mouth from your ass, but whatever. So, while Border Patrol only recorded 342 encounters with migrants from China. So, again, in 2021, they had 342 encounters. In 2022, the next year, they had almost 2,000 encounters. Basically, 400 encounters in 2021, 2,000 encounters in 2022, 10,000 encounters in the first 7 months of 2023. But they figured it out, you guys. No. Joe Biden's figured out the border. They told us. Green Jean-Pierre's on the podium. They told us. Joe Biden himself fumbled through his words, but somehow got a coherent thought out and told us. No, they got it all figured out. 90% of illegal immigration is down. Peter Ducey, where the hell did you get those numbers from? Oh, I'll tell you. And doesn't tell us where she got those numbers from because she pulled it out of her you-know-what. While Border Patrol has encountered an increasing number of Afghan migrants, there has been reportedly more than 150,000 special immigrant visa applications from Afghanistan in the wake of the Taliban taking power after the United States withdrawal, which we talked about in our first segment. Just totally baffled. Our military and our intelligence community, whatever the hell you want to call them in government, like, oh, well, no, not a clue that they were running the country over in a week. Well, not an idea. Got the freaking, like, some of the smartest people in the world in our military. I guess not anymore. Now they're trying to push this whole gay pride, LGBTQ, LMNOP, alphabet soup community into our military, lowering our freaking standards. Oh, you can't do 5 push-ups? Oh, well, we'll love to have you. Oh, you can't carry a guy across the battlefield? Sure, no, just leave him there. He's fine. An estimated 1.5 million illegal immigrant gotaways. Does that not take your breath away when you hear those numbers? Again, a lot of this I don't read beforehand. I like the off the cuff. I like that feeling, that impact that you get when you hear the news. I want that, share that feeling with you as a community. The number's correct. An estimated 1.5 million, with an M, illegal immigrant gotaways have been recorded since President Joe Biden took office. It's actually more than that. Those are just the recorded, so you're probably upwards of 2.5. Meanwhile, 415,000 total gotaways were reported in 2018, 2019, and 2020 under the Trump administration, which is really high, and I'm not okay with that, but that's 3 years under Donald Trump. Joe Biden has basically 1.5 to 2.5 just gotaways that we know about. But yeah, you know what? They're always going to blame Trump. That was Trump administration's fault. He caused the whole issue. Yeah, typical. Always blame Putin, Xi Jinping, Donald Trump. Some nameless, faceless, shadowy figure out there they can't name, but it's their fault too. The Biden administration recently increased the number of foreign nationals who will be able to enter the United States through the CBP, one app, to 40,000 per month. The app is a digital program where migrants can schedule asylum appointments before arriving to the border. Well, I thought they had to sit there and do this whole thing before another country before they came to the border. See, this is one of those kind of roundabout ways of them going around that whole idea because they don't want to be called xenophobes or racists and all these other things. So what they did was, in the first week of office, they removed Trump's policies, a lot of Trump's policies. One of the policies was this idea of you have to seek asylum in any country before you actually come to the border itself. And then we'll let you in and we'll figure it out, and just have a free pass, whatever. Well, now to get around that, they have this app that's as if you're seeking asylum in one of those countries, as you're in a caravan, whoever's supporting all those people with food and money and all those other things. Somebody's doing it. That's for another video. But now they can do this whole app and it's okay. You have an appointment. Come on in, folks. Oh, let me see a screen grab. I don't even see the app. Oh, perfect. You wrote your name down. Sick. You spelled it wrong, but hey, come on in. So that's one way they can get around this whole thing, because when Title 42 expired, they were going, oh, well, we're going to use Title 8. Title 8 wasn't going to be good enough. So Title 42 expires, and they reinstitute Trump's policy of basically seeking asylum. So this is why they have this app here. At least that's the theory behind it. Meanwhile, multiple cities have been overwhelmed by the surge in border crossings. Chicago recently passed a controversial measure to provide $51 million in funding for housing for more than 10,000 foreign nationals who have arrived in the city. They're giving $51 million, folks, to this whole thing in funding. And then it was so funny because they had a whole town hall thing with this, and you had these people that were Democrats just losing their ish about it. You voted for it, you knuckleheads. And I'm sure there's some Republicans and conservatives in there that had enough of it, but you voted for it. Like this is what you get when you have Lori Lightfoot as mayor. This is what you get when you have Joe Biden as president. I mean, come on. No, everybody's known this for a while. Wake up. Look under Obama and what he did. The Trump's terrible. Trump sucks. He broke the law with classified documents. Yeah, look at Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, Mike Pence, Joe Biden, everybody. Well, he had classified material. Yeah, so did Joe Biden in the freaking garage. But nothing's going to happen to him. Oh, he did a quid pro quo on video? Oh, yeah? Well, he's not as bad as Trump. Shut up. New York City recently announced that 50 places of worship will house foreign nationals. Democrat Mayor Eric Adams, the knucklehead, has been suggested that private citizens might be incentivized to house migrants in private residences. Gee, what do you think that incentive is going to be? For those that are on audio, cha-ching, cha-ching, your taxpayer dollars going in the pocket. It is my vision to take the next step to this faith-based locales and then move to private residences. Right to shelter, you're getting what you wanted, folks. Don't even pay the people. Hey, if you voted Democrat, open your doors for this. Adams has even sued 30 New York counties. How many of them do you want to guess that are Republican, that have refused to accommodate foreign nationals? Why are you being sued? Because you don't want to house foreign nationals, and he's accusing them of xenophobic bigotry. The same charades that literally he said and called Trump on Twitter, along with Mayor Lori Lightfoot of Chicago and freaking Bowser of Washington, D.C. and these other knucklehead Democrat people. Oh, you're xenophobe, racist, bigotry, all these other things. They're right to shelter, boasting about it online, so they get what they wanted. They're getting these busloads of migrants pouring into their cities and localities, from Doug Ducey of Arizona and Greg Abbott of Texas and Ron DeSantis of Florida. And by the way, that's not even all of them, because some of these people are just making their way there because they're just gotaways. They just got in. Or Joe Biden's letting them loose in the interior of the country, but nobody wants to talk about that. They just want to blame Republicans because they're political pawns, according to Karine Jean-Pierre. So you're getting what you wanted, and now because you're getting what you wanted, you're going to sue somebody else because of the problem that you wanted? Insane. I know it doesn't make sense, but this is what we get. This is what we have to deal with, folks, for another 2 years. God, I hope Joe Biden's out, but check this one out. A recent CBS poll found that 63% of Americans disapprove of Biden's handling of the United States border, while just 37% say they approve. Who's that 37%? Can we get them on the show? Just one person? We would love to ask you, where's your head at, and when can you pull it out of your you-know-what? Folks, this is wild. Hey, it's content. It's content. I wish we had different content, but hell. Head over to baldbrad.com, get yourself a coffee mug, pick yourself up a signed copy of Trojan Horse. A little bit pricey, folks, but you're supporting a true American patriot here, giving you the news, giving you a conservative and Republican perspective, and hopefully a common sense perspective from just an average American. Would love your subscription. It is free, folks. If you want to pay, we got the join tab down there, $4.99, $9.99 a month. At least you're not paying your money towards Disney. These other people are trying to trans your kids. I'm just trying to wake people up to what the hell's going on out there and what the hell our government's doing. Also, if you want to leave us a comment down below, your help would be greatly supported. Hit that like button, folks. I'll see you tomorrow here on The Paul Brad Show.